Hey guys, welcome to Denny's. Today we're going to jump into my Void Erosion Lepic build. This build, more specifically, we're going to be talking about is kind of a support build for Void Erosion to make it as easy as possible. Now, if you have 4 Lepics in one Void Erosion, this is not going to be easy. However, if you run this build whenever you've got damage dealers and people that can, deal the damage, this will be making the run significantly easier for your group. And I hope that you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like the video if it helped out. Comment any feedback you got from me. Subscribe if you feel that I've earned it. Don't forget, I am live on Twitch 5 days a week. I would love to see each and every one of you guys there. I am streaming more than I'm making videos now, and I can answer any questions you guys would like. So don't forget to check me out over on Twitch, guys. I would love to see everybody there. We're having a blast doing it. And yeah, it's a little bit easier for me to interact with you guys and help out with any questions you may have. So I'd definitely love to see you guys over there. But without waiting too much longer, let's jump into the Lepic build. All right, so first things first, we're going to jump into the modules that we're going to want to be using with Lepic. Now, guys, this is the Lepic build my way. People might have it differently set up. I'm just going to kind of talk about why I'm using what I'm using, and we will kind of discuss why with each mod. But to start it off, we are a support Descendant. We are not really the damage dealer. So you see the focus on mods we're running, focus on tech, focus on fire. There is no reason to have our damage max because weapons are doing most of the damage. Maximize range is one that I get asked about. So maximize range and skill extension. These two, usually I only run one. However, it can be really finicky in the Void Erosion. You might miss your ball sometimes. Having two is like a way of guaranteeing that you're basically not going to miss that ball, and it's always going to be kind of hitting people and making sure that they're in. I do recommend running shot focus right here. Instead, if you have no issues with hitting your balls and you're never messing that up, shot focus is going to be the way to go, hands down, because that's going to get you more damage on the boss, more damage on your smithereens. Power unit change is going to give us a 52% firearm ATK. This is going to make us do a lot more damage, mainly on the boss. It's really important for the boss, if I'm honest, but everything else, you're kind of using a different weapon. So yeah. MP conversion, nimble fingers, you need cooldown, and you need maximized duration and skill extension. Those are going to be the most important ones, obviously, to keep your ball with that low cooldown and the duration. As you can see, 3.7 second cooldown, 3.9 second duration. Okay, that is very, very important. And then HP is going to make it so we don't get one-shotted. Now, we do have our cheat death for the very end. I'll be talking about that before we go into the footage. But the increased HP is important in my opinion, because that way we obviously don't always proc our cheat death, and we have that ready to go for the boss if we need it. And then mid-air maneuvering is pretty important, actually. It's not, grappling you don't really think about, but if you can get away with the melee at the end of your grapple and get some advantage, it's really important for Lepic to set up the room. You want to make sure that you're prioritizing setting up the room with your Lepic. By setting up the room, I mean basically getting to the next pack where it spawns, throwing your ball down before everybody gets there. That way they can get there and they're already grouped up. They're much easier to kill that way, and that makes it a lot easier on all the players in the group. So that is that. I am going to change this back because I'm a pretty big failure when it comes to the ball, so I like to run the double range. Let's talk about the reactor and the components. So the reactor we're going to be using, it literally does not matter at all what kind you have, because again, this is going to be just, gun damage. So I'm using duration and cooldown. This is the highest rolled duration and cooldown that I have. Fortunately, I don't have a double gold, but it's the highest one I've got. And you saw earlier in my modules, this is 3.7 cooldown, 3.9 duration. That's all that matters. As long as it's at 3.7 and above for the duration, whenever the cooldown's that low, you're totally good. Just trying to get as much cooldown and duration that we can. So for the reactor, pretty simple. Components, simple as well. Hunter Aux Power, Hunter Processor. That's going to give us our 4% cooldown, max HP, MP recovery out of combat, and then the processor literally doesn't matter as long as you have equipment drop rate increase modifier. And then Annihilation for the sensor, max MP and MP recovery in combat, and memory is going to be max HP obviously for the main role. MP recovery modifier, if I could, I would get one that has defense, but I don't have that yet. I don't have one that has defense, so that is why I'm running gold drop rate increase modifier. So that is the components for the setup. Most important bit, just make sure you're running 2-piece Hunter, 2-piece Annihilation. We get duration, and we get cooldown for our third ability. It's like a support build, so we're focusing on that cooldown of that third ability. Now let's jump into the weapons. So for the weapons, we're going to be using 3 very important weapons. We are the support. In the mission for Void Erosion Purge, there is constantly going to be enemies with RK shields that is why we are primarily using Voltia. I want to have this out at all times for whenever that happens. You'll begin to memorize the patterns of the Avoid Erosion 30. They are set in stone. So the first pack you encounter, that'll have a shield. And then it's something like the 7th or 8th pack you encounter, that will also have a shield. So you'll kind of get used to when you need to pull this out. You'll see in the footage and you'll see by running 30s, they are always in the same place. The first room and the last room always have the shields, and then in between, in the very middle, they have the shields as well. So Voltia for that. My Voltia is not really, insanely built. I'm basically just using one that I had from a long time ago when Season 2 first came out. Literally does not matter, in my opinion, what you actually have on here because it breaks the shield so quick with the unique ability. Obviously, having one that's built out will help, but in my opinion, it doesn't need to be super built out. I've got Sweeping Squad still and Expand Weapon Charge. So not absolutely meta, but this gets the job done. You guys, obviously, I don't really need to explain this. If you guys have seen my Voltia video or you guys want to take a screenshot like most do, no biggie. Clairvoyance, this is the one that we're using most of the time. So Clairvoyance, I literally don't have built at all. The only thing I put on it is making sure that I have super conductivity and double max mag. What the double max mag and super conductivity is going to do is make it so that we have a constant stream of rank 2. Basically, all we need to make sure we do is apply this unique ability, right? Hitting an enemy with a stage 2 beam applies Void Gaze, and that is basically 40% chill resistance. So literally, obviously stage 3 inflicts, they don't actually stack, I don't believe. So the 40% chill resistance is all you're really trying to get. But by running the mods that I run on it, refrigerate gun barrel, super conductivity, and 2 mag mods. I also have a core in it that is rounds per magazine. That is the most important things in my opinion. You don't have to do anything else with your clairvoyance. If you guys want to kit this out and totally build it out, you can. You'll do a little more damage, but it just doesn't do the damage of other guns, and it's negligible compared to your damage dealers in the run. And this is just kind of like showing you why the main reason you'll be using it, which is basically just to get that 40% resistance shred. And then your most important damage dealer by far is Smithereen. So I'm going to start with the cores on it. You guys can see critical hit damage for the free core, firearm attack for the orange core, aim shot accuracy for the 2 yellows, and darkness damage for the purple. And then for the substat rolls, firearm attack, critical hit damage, chill attack, and darkness. Very straightforward. We're trying to build it to get as much damage towards the faction, the darkness faction, that we can. And then you've got the mods. So the mods, very unique. Not a lot of people might be confused as to why this is it, but I promise if you guys look at the footage, the video at the end of the video I'm about to show you, the very end of the run, you're going to see that I'm hitting like every single headshot. It is so important to hit these headshots on this boss, and if you do not, you will be missing a ton of damage. So to explain what I've done, reduce the fire rate by 25%, and I do not have a fire rate mod on it. Okay, that gives me a giant amount of chill, and then instead of having the fire rate mod, I put on targeted vulnerability. And if you have targeted vulnerability, refrigerated gun barrel, and no fire rate mod, as well as 2 aim shot accuracy cores, your crosshairs will always go back down to normal, and you'll always be able to hit the headshots. So we go with action and reaction, rifling reinforcement, weak point sight to work on the weak point a bit more, and then obviously you absolutely need critical hit damage on this gun, so concentration priority and better concentration. Shell up, this makes it so each pellet basically lands a ton more shots. It's something like 13 or something like that. This is really worded wrong or incorrectly. Shell capacity, kind of worded correct, I guess. I don't really know. I feel like it's not. But yeah, you get more damage per shot with this, so it's a must. But yeah, that is the reason I'm running the no fire rate and less fire rate. And I also am using Real Life Fighter. This thing stacks like crazy. You're starting to like 180k. If you have Enzo's Supply Firearm Enhancer, you do like 190k per pellet, and that amounts to over 2 million damage easily per shot, by the way. So that is just a absurd amount of damage to put on the boss as long as you're hitting your shots. You can run this, but you can run others too. This is just what I like to run because I'm not the best at aiming, and this makes it a lot easier to aim. The fire rate makes it super, super difficult. So that is the weapons. We'll jump on over to the Inversion Reinforcement. So the Inversion Reinforcement, we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it. It's very straightforward. Chill enhancement rounds, most important by far, because you're doing the most amount of damage with your firearm attack. So the chill attack naturally gets busted. The heightened sensory cells. This is for Lepics that spam their third ability. This will make it so you run out of MP a lot less. You can run out of MP quite often in these runs, especially if you're not picking up MP packs. So heightened sensory cells for that. And Abyss enhancement to make sure that you're getting ahead of the group. you want to make sure that you're running Abyss Enhancement to lower your grapple cooldown, to make sure you're just always ahead of people in your group, to make sure you're getting that next ball out. Very straightforward, very simple. All these are the ones that I would run basically permanently on Lepic to make it as easy as possible and to go as quick as possible for the quality of life and everything like that. So that is the Inversion Reinforcement. And other than that, that pretty much wraps up the build portion of the video. I am going to showcase a run that I did in a public match, guys. I feel like what I'm doing on stream a lot of the time is kind of with a predetermined group, and it's not impossible to replicate, but not a lot of people can do that. So I wanted to do it from a solo standpoint where I just joined a totally random group. Obviously, I did get 2 Glaze and an Enzo. They weren't using meta weapons, I will say that. One of them was using Last Dagger. The Enzo, I don't even think was using Supply Firearm Enhancer. He's using like the Cope Circle. If anybody knows where that's at, shout out Twitch. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I hope you guys enjoy watching the footage. I would highly recommend to stay and watch it because you learn a lot about the ball spots and where the ball placement goes. There is a lot of RNG, but you can get consistent and you can eliminate that RNG with certain ball placement. I've learned quite a bit, and I haven't done this an ungodly amount. I've definitely done a lot of Void Erosion runs, but not as much as some people. And I would say that the more I have done, I've gotten a lot better with Lepic. And he's also really fun. And everybody needs a Lepic. A lot of people like to be damage dealers, so if you get your Lepic together, it's really easy to build, and everybody will need you. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This will be the gameplay footage. Don't mind me sniffing. I forgot to mute my mic in the middle of the run, so hopefully I don't say anything weird or yeah, anything like that. But anyway, you guys have a good one. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitch. I would love to see you guys there. It'd mean the world to me. But I'm out of here, guys. Hope to see you there, and have a good one. Peace out. Goodbye.